Okay, today I was going to take a look at some videos that Violetta had sent me. She said she's having trouble with landing her right foot and then dropping her heel down in the center. So we're going to take a look and see what might be causing that problem. There's 3 discus throws and two throws with the pipe, and then 2 rotational shot put throws from the 12 o'clock position we're watching. Okay, so what I'm seeing is as you come around with that sweep leg, you're just kicking it almost linearly across the circle. You can see how low your foot is right here to the circle. It's not very high off the ground. Let's take a look at Valerie Ullman here. Okay, the angle's a little bit different. Hers is, the camera here is on the right. It's a little bit closer to the ground, but you can see how the distance, how high her right foot is from the ground, the height. Okay, so she's being much more rotational into the circle. Now, she's going to get that linear drive from her left knee staying down. Okay, so these two things are going to contribute to her being able to keep turning that right foot in the center of the circle. Let's slow that down and take a look. See, the right foot hits, the heel stays up, and then she finishes the throw, rotating that right foot the whole time. So that's something I would recommend, is maybe instead of kicking straight into the circle with the low foot, try to bring it up higher and make it more rotational around. Okay, let's take a look at from the side view here. Yeah, you can see how your left knee, let's take a look at Valerie Ullman here from the side view. Okay, she's ready to push off. See how low her knee is? You can see how her the angle of her leg is much lower than where your leg is. Your left leg is much more vertical. So it's going to cause you to go upward, and you're not driving forward. So I think that's why you're trying to kick with that right leg into the circle, to give you that distance across the circle, where that right leg should be coming around a little bit higher and wider as in circular into the circle, and then the left knee stays down, and that drives you across the circle. Okay. Yeah, you see how your left foot stops right here. You stop rotating it. The knee doesn't quite hit the ground, but you see it stops rotating right here. And then right here, you want to make sure that hip is right on top of the foot so it can rotate. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay. Here you've got a nice left knee drop. You can see how your toes pointing down, so you're kicking right into the circle. And you see that left leg start to extend upward. Okay. You're almost vertical here. Okay, right now your hip is on top of the foot, or into the toes right here, so you can turn really fast. You've got a nice angle here with your upper body. And you see how you're starting to reach for the left foot placement up here in the front. You've only landed in the very center of the circle, and that's fine. You see how you're reaching, and that's causing your hips to shift. If you watch your right hip, it's on top of your foot right now. Your toes, your knees are out past your toes, so you're in a good position to rotate. But look how you stop rotating that right, and you're shifting your hips forward. And you can see here how far you're right hip is off your foot. It's very hard to rotate that leg when you're that far off of it. Okay. Same thing here. See the vertical left foot or left leg here. Kick straight in. Your heel's high here, the right heel. You see how it drops down, stops turning right here because you stopped rotating. Okay. Here you let your left hip start to move forward. Make sure you extend that left leg as soon as you start turning, so it pushes that left hip back. You see how the hips are moving forward, and your release, you're vertical here, so you're not going to get much height. It's going to be even more visible in this next one. See the left hip right here? Watch it move forward because you're not extending that leg. And now your upper body is actually starting to lean forward, so your chest is down, so you're not going to get much height at all. Yeah, you're kind of lunging downward. Your chest is going down, but your arm is trying to go up. So that's just because you let the left leg not block. I don't know if that's a heavier bar you're throwing or that's throwing you off. Okay, let's take a quick look at your shot blitz here. You see you're kicking straight into the circle. You don't really have much rotation around. Now the shot put you want to be even more rotational because the circle is so much smaller. So usually I would come with the toe upward. Let's take a look at Joe Kovacs right here. This video right here, you can see how he's kicking with the inside of his foot. So you're leading with the toe. He's got his foot. He's kicking with the instep, and his toe is upward. It's going to make him much more rotational. Hit. Okay, he's landing like you are, just about at 12 o'clock. Right there. You like to rotate that foot all the way, like you can hear your almost similar position. Let's take a look right here. So let's go one frame at a time. Yeah, you see how Joe Kovacs, his right foot continues to turn from here to here, but your foot has stopped here to here. Okay, so keep it rotating. Here's a good separation. Your hips are facing the camera, 12 o'clock, your foot's at 12, and your shoulders are facing over here towards 3 o'clock. So that's really good separation between your hips and your shoulders, just like Joe Kovacs here. The other thing on your left foot plant, you see how your foot is almost facing 9 o'clock, so your heel's at 3. It kind of blocks you off, and you see how your knee is facing also toward 9. Look at Joe Kovacs when he lands. See how his toe is facing toward about 6:30, 7 o'clock, toward the throwing direction. Okay. See how his knee is facing out that way. So he's in a good stance here, the cowboy stance or saddle stance. Okay. It's much faster. So you can go right into the throw. Where in your position, you have to rotate that left leg. See how it's blocking your hips? From being able to rotate efficiently, you have to turn the foot in order to get that right hip around. Okay. All right, so I think that's all we wanted to talk about today is maybe come around with a wider right foot, higher up off the ground. Try to keep the right hip. Don't shift the hips forward. Try to keep the hip on top of that right foot. Keep rotating the foot by turning on the ball of the foot there. Okay. Keep your hip on top without shifting. And don't let the heel drop down so much. It'll drop a little bit here, but you want to kind of get the feeling of dropping and turning at the same time. And make sure you keep that left knee low so you're driving across. Okay, keep it right here. Don't extend upward. Extend into the throw, toward the throwing section, throwing direction there, without going upward vertically like that. Okay. All right, that should help you out. Hopefully we'll see some new videos from you with this issue fixed. All right, thanks.